Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsaf Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. The Israeli military has ordered Palestinians to move to the south and central Gaza Strip. Israeli forces dropped leaflets from the sky telling Gazans to leave what they called dangerous combat zones. The leaflets reportedly had marked routes that led to shelters in Deir Al-Balah and Al-Zawaida. This is the second time Israel has ordered Palestinians to vacate the entirety of Gaza City since the war broke out. The Israeli military has announced that its troops have completed a 2-week-long operation in Gaza's Shejaia district. Israel released videos of its soldiers carrying out raids. The Israeli forces claim that they have destroyed 8 Hamas tunnels containing weapons and communication equipment. They also say that they killed dozens of Hamas operatives. Pressure continues to mount on Joe Biden to quit the U.S. presidential race. Actor and Democrat George Clooney is the latest to call on Biden to end his re-election bid. Clooney said, and I quote, "I love Biden, but he cannot win against time. Biden would lose the presidential election." Alarm bells have been ringing over Biden's age and fitness for office since he debated his rival Donald Trump in June. Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer emphasised on the special relationship between the UK and the US during his first meeting with US President Joe Biden after assuming office. The meeting took place on the sidelines of NATO's 75th anniversary summit in Washington. The duo also held private talks in the Oval Office. NATO has labelled China a decisive enabler of Russia's war against Ukraine. The bloc has called Beijing's ties with Moscow a cause for deep concern. The outgoing NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg has said that China provides dual-use equipment to Russia. He further said that the supply allows Russia to build missiles, bombs and aircraft used to attack Ukraine. Taiwan's defense ministry has said that it detected 66 Chinese military aircraft around the island in the past 24 hours. The Taiwanese authorities released pictures of Chinese J-16 fighter jets and nuclear-capable H-6 bombers. Taipei said that Beijing's actions pose a threat to the region. The Japanese Defense Ministry has released still photos of what it said was the Chinese aircraft carrier the Shandong. It was allegedly seen at sea near Japan's southwest Okinawa prefecture. Japan said that the Shandong was located around 500 kilometers south of Okinawa, along with 2 missile destroyers and a frigate. Japan scrambled its fighter jets in response to the aircraft launched by the carrier. A major Chinese state-owned food company, Sinograin, and a private company called the Hopeful Grain and Oil Group are accused of using the same tankers for fuel and cooking oil. The tankers were allegedly used for both without being cleaned in a bid to cut costs. This has raised fears of food contamination. The Chinese government has launched an investigation into the incident. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol met Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on the sidelines of the NATO summit in Washington. The duo discussed concerns over growing ties between Russia and North Korea and agreed to continue their security cooperation. Yoon's office said that the growing North Korea-Russia ties raised a security concern not only for East Asia but also globally. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is all set to host his counterparts from 7 South and Southeast Asian countries. This will be for the second BIMSTEC Foreign Ministers meet in New Delhi, which is starting today. BIMSTEC stands for the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. It aims to bring 7 Bay of Bengal countries together for multifaceted cooperation. Ahead of India's budget for 2024, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held an important meet with top economists and industry experts. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman was also in attendance. The newly re-elected government will present its budget on July 23rd. An alliance of ethnic armed groups has captured the strategic town of Nuangcho in Myanmar's Shan state. The town is along a key trade highway to China. This marks a significant setback for Myanmar's ruling military junta amid renewed clashes with ethnic militias. The renewal of hostilities has shattered a Beijing-brokered truce between Myanmar's junta and various ethnic groups in the country. Syria has resumed flights to Saudi Arabia after a gap of 12 years. Yesterday, the first new flight took off from Damascus and landed in Riyadh. Passenger flights between the two countries were halted in 2012. This was amid Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's brutal crackdown on anti-government protesters at the start of his country's civil war. In climate news, more than 130 people were trapped in Tibet after incessant rain triggered landslides and floods. The severe weather conditions washed away sections of a highway. Dozens of rescue workers have been deployed. A monsoon storm has dropped several inches of rain in Ruidoso, a village in the U.S. state of New Mexico. This has triggered flash floods in the region, leading to submerged roads. Torrents of muddy debris were seen flowing through the streets. The U.S. National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning for areas near Ruidoso. The South American nation of Chile has been hit by a cold wave. The region has been experiencing record low temperatures for the past few days. The mercury hit minus 1.3 degrees Celsius in the capital, Santiago. This affects homeless people and outdoor workers the most. Animals in the Czech Republic's capital, Prague, are struggling amid sweltering heat. Temperatures reached 36 degrees Celsius in some parts of the country. Zookeepers are giving the animals ice to provide relief from the heat. They're also creating cool spots for the animals. Las Vegas in the U.S. state of Nevada has been baking under a severe heat wave. The city recorded a temperature of 46 degrees Celsius yesterday. Experts say that Nevada is experiencing the most extreme heat wave in its history. U.S. health authorities issued warnings for high levels of bacteria found at 14 Los Angeles County beaches. The higher than usual level of bacteria is a result of contaminated water and high rainfall. Local officials cautioned residents to avoid swimming, surfing, and playing in the water. Colombia's top court has nullified a carbon credit deal in the Amazon rainforest. The deal was signed between the local tribes of Piraparana and an American firm called Ruby Canyon Environmental. The deal was supposed to preserve forest land with the goal of compensating for greenhouse gas emissions. However, the Amazon tribes say that the deal was signed with fake representatives of the Piraparana. On to business and tech news. The U.S. stock market indices, the Nasdaq and S&P 500, closed at new record highs yesterday. Nasdaq rose by over 1% to reach the 18,600 mark, while the S&P 500 crossed the 5,600 level. The markets rose after comments by the U.S. Federal Reserve's chair, Jerome Powell. Powell said that the U.S. economy has cooled down after the COVID-19 pandemic. This has raised investor expectations that the U.S. central bank may soon lower interest rates. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission is reportedly planning to sue healthcare giants like the United Health Group, CVS, and Cigna. These firms have been accused of illegally maximizing profits while selling drugs to patients. The healthcare firms allegedly push patients to buy drugs from certain brands. Reports say that the lawsuit may also include drug makers like Sanofi, Novo Nordisk, and Eli Lilly. Meanwhile, the Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk has signed a deal with Indonesia's Bio Farma. Under the deal, Biopharma will package Novo Nordisk's diabetes drugs in Indonesia. Novo Nordisk has been trying to expand its presence in Asia. It aims to increase the enrollment of more diabetes care patients in Indonesia, India, and other countries. American news network CNN reportedly plans to cut 100 jobs. This is about 3% of the firm's total workforce. The layoffs come as the firm has been trying to streamline its business. CNN plans to merge its news gathering and digital news teams. It also plans to launch a new subscription news product by the end of this year. Electric car giant Tesla has raised the prices of its Model 3 cars in some European countries. This includes Germany, the Netherlands, and Spain. The price has been hiked by over $1,600. Tesla says that the hike is due to newly imposed tariffs on electric vehicles made in China. Tesla makes the Model 3 sold in Europe in Shanghai. Earlier this month, the European Union imposed extra import tariffs on Chinese EVs. Elon Musk has said that his brain chip startup, Neuralink, is about to conduct human testing on a second patient. Neuralink installed its first brain chip in a human in January this year. The patient was later seen operating a computer cursor with his brain. Elon Musk says that if all goes well, Neuralink plans to make brain implants commonplace. Samsung launched its latest foldable smartphones yesterday. The firm unveiled the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and the Galaxy Z Flip 6. The smartphones boast new artificial intelligence functions to compete with their main rivals, iPhones by Apple. The Samsung phones offer a listening mode that can provide real-time language translations. Samsung has also collaborated with Google to introduce new AI search features. The tech giant Alphabet has reportedly dropped its bid to acquire the marketing software firm HubSpot. The talks between the two companies were first reported earlier this year. However, they did not move beyond the initial phase. Reports say that Alphabet was concerned that the deal would attract regulatory scrutiny. American chipmaker AMD has announced plans to buy Finnish artificial intelligence startup Silo AI. The deal has been valued at $665 million. AMD says Silo will develop AI models powered by its chips. The firm has been trying to compete with NVIDIA for dominance in the AI chip market. The U.S. National Basketball Association has reportedly finalized a broadcast deal with 3 platforms. This includes NBC Universal, Amazon Prime, and Disney's ESPN. All 3 platforms will broadcast NBA playoff games. Amazon and NBC will alternatively show NBA conference match finals. Meanwhile, ESPN will broadcast one conference final and the NBA finals each season. The NBA deal will run for 11 seasons and has been valued at $76 billion. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. India defeated Zimbabwe by 23 runs in the third T20 international match at Harare. India won the toss and chose to bat first. Shubman Gill scored 66 runs and Ruturaj Gaikwad added 49 to help India post 182 for 4 in the first innings. In the second innings, India's Washington Sundar scalped 3 wickets to restrict Zimbabwe to 159 for 6. With the win, India have taken a 2-1 lead against Zimbabwe in the 5-match T20 international series. Pakistani bowler Shaheen Shah Afridi is embroiled in yet another controversy. Reports say that he's been accused of misbehaving with coaches, staff and management. The country's head coach, Gary Kirsten, has reportedly complained to the Pakistani Cricket Board about him. Afridi's string of bad behaviour allegedly started back during the T20 International Series against Ireland and continued through to the 2024 T20 World Cup. India is unlikely to travel to Pakistan for the 2025 ICC Champions Trophy. Reports say that India's cricket board will make an appeal to the International Cricket Council or ICC. Pakistan currently has the hosting rights for the tournament, but the venue may be shifted to the UAE or Sri Lanka if India doesn't participate. In football, England are through to the final of the UEFA Euro 2024. They beat the Netherlands 2-1 in the second semi-final of the tournament. The Dutch drew first blood 7 minutes into play through Xavi Simons. England scored an equaliser via Harry Kane just 11 minutes later. Substitute Ollie Watkins came off the bench to score a late goal and wrap up the match for the British. In the Copa America, 15-time champions Uruguay were eliminated from the tournament. Colombia outplayed them and secured a 1-0 win in the semi-final. Jefferson Lerma found the back of the net in the 39th minute. Colombia proved to be strong despite being reduced to 10 men for 45 minutes. Liverpool's Darwin Núñez was lackluster and missed several chances to score for Uruguay. Colombia now face defending champions Argentina in the Copa America final. Clashes broke out after the Uruguay versus Colombia Copa America semi-final match. Uruguay players seemingly entered the stands after their semi-final defeat. They were seen fighting with fans, most of whom were supporting Colombia. Football authorities are investigating the incident. Uruguay's captain said that the spectators were threatening the families of the players after the loss. In tennis, Italy's Lorenzo Musetti has advanced to the semi-final at Wimbledon. He downed American Taylor Fritz 3-6, 7-6, 6-2, 3-6, 6-1 in the quarters. With the win, Musetti has set up a clash with the men's world number 2 Novak Djokovic for a spot in the final. Musetti has beaten Djokovic just once in 6 clashes so far. Over in the women's draw, 4th seed Elena Rybakina also made it to the semi-finals at Wimbledon. She powered past Elena Svitolina of Ukraine with a 6-3, 6-2 win in straight sets. Kazakhstan's Rybakina took just 62 minutes to end the match. She next plays the Czech Republic's Barbara Krejcikova in the last 4. Prakash Padukone, a renowned figure in Indian badminton, will be mentoring India's badminton squad heading to the Olympics. He is set to travel to Paris with the 15-member team. Padukone has trained several Indian ace shuttlers like Lakshya Sen and Saina Nehwal. Badminton at the Paris Olympics starts on the 27th of July. In athletics, America's star sprinter Noah Lyles has pulled out of the Monaco Diamond League. He is the reigning world 100-meter and 200-meter champion. Lyles' team said that he would not feature at the event because he wants to focus on the upcoming Paris Olympics. In entertainment news, during an Eras Tour show in Switzerland, Taylor Swift called stadium workers to help fans amid the ongoing heat wave. From her vantage point on stage, she pointed to people who needed help. She also called emergency personnel to tend to the situation. Katy Perry is gearing up to release her 6th studio album called 143. She took to social media and revealed that 143 is a numerical expression for the phrase, "I love you." The music album will release on September 20th. A single from the album, titled Woman's World, will be released today. The South Korean singer Jin from the group BTS shared some insights into his time in mandatory military service. He said that he used almost all of his military enlistment money on food. Jin said he regularly treated his squad to food during his service. He even took them out of their barracks for barbecues. Game of Thrones star Emilia Clarke has been roped in for an upcoming crime drama series. This series is an adaptation of the graphic novel Criminal. Clarke will play the lead role and work alongside actors like Charlie Hunnam, Richard Jenkins and Logan Browning. Kevin Costner's period western film Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 2 will not be releasing anytime soon. It was supposed to release on the 16th of August. However, the filmmakers have decided not to release it after the expensive first part bombed at the box office. The $100 million Horizon Chapter 1 released in June. The first trailer for the animated superhero film Watchmen Chapter 1 has been released. The movie is an animated adaptation of the iconic Watchmen comic book. The story is about a group of retired superheroes who reunite after one of them is murdered. Season 7 of the cop drama The Rookie has added Patrick Kelleher and Derek Augustine to the cast as recurring guest stars. Kelleher will play the role of a rookie police officer. Augustine will play an officer from Texas who gets transferred to the LAPD. The show also marks Kelleher's TV debut. The British actor Kate Beckinsale has hit back at trolls who shamed her for losing weight. She said she suddenly lost weight because of stress and grief. Her stepfather died and her mother got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Beckinsale said that she couldn't keep any food down in her stomach after going through all that pain. Comedian and actor Ellen DeGeneres has decided to quit Hollywood. She has said that her upcoming Netflix special will be her last project. DeGeneres says it'll be the last time that people see her on screen. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian and former UK PM Boris Johnson are all set to attend Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant's wedding in Mumbai. Anant Ambani is the son of Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani, while Radhika Merchant is the daughter of pharma tycoon Viren Merchant. The wedding will be held tomorrow. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to Firstpost.